The KEEL Morning Show with Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Breaking news and trending talk on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning, just after 6 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. And down yonder, Miss Erin has local news in a second or two.
We're talking about a big vote for the city council this week. That's coming up. More than 50 National Guardsmen from Louisiana headed to Afghanistan. And the LSU Tigers have a pretty good night.
Who is, and although we pushed on our two bets, we split our two bets.
Who was more right, me or you?
That's what we'll talk about in the first segment.
No debate.
And I brought my knee pads for begging forgiveness. Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, it's all coming up this hour. It's right here, and it's on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Big action before the Shreveport City Council this week. They could be ordering and calling a special election to be held in the city in November to authorize the incurring of debt and issuing bonds to the tune of $186 million. This could be a final vote during tomorrow's meeting. More than 50 National Guardsmen from Louisiana will deploy to Afghanistan this week. The soldiers will be away from home for nearly a year. Once overseas, they'll provide air movement support and medical evacuation support to ground forces. We now know more about the tragic fatality involving a train. Reuben Wright with that.
A Bossier City man is identified as the man killed in a train-truck collision on West 70th Street. 36-year-old Bruce Dominic was walking beside a moving train crossing West 70th Street when an 18-wheeler crossed the railroad tracks, causing the truck's trailer to swerve, pinning Dominic against the train. From the news desk of 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Reuben Wright.
Nearly 800 Louisiana businesses have gotten permits to sell CBD products. A spokesman from Alcohol and Tobacco Control says they've gotten more than 1,000 applications. CBD is used in oils and lotions that some believe are beneficial to their health. Investigators believe a child playing with a lighter led to a house fire in Jackson Parish that killed 2 children, a 2-month-old girl and a 3-year-old boy who just celebrated a birthday. State Fire Marshal Butch Browning says there were 5 children in the home when the blaze started.
One of those children actually accidentally set a couch on fire in the living room.
3 children were able to get out unharmed, but Browning says the lone adult at home at the time couldn't get to the 2 kids who died. Big news in the fight against cancer in our state. The National Cancer Institute is providing $13.6 million to combine research efforts in Louisiana. The network merges the Community Oncology Research Program run by Ochsner Cancer Center into one involving LSU Health New Orleans and cancer centers in Shreveport and Baton Rouge. Now, it will also include some Mississippi cities. LSU moves up to number 4 from 6 after a convincing win over the Texas Longhorns. The LSU new spread offense is legit. Quarterback Joe Burrow threw for 471 yards, second highest total in school history. Justin Jefferson had 9 catches for 163 yards and 3 TDs.
They've been talking all week, the DBU and all that extra stuff. We didn't worry about all that. We worried about us. And, we told Joe, Coach Brady said that we was going to come out here and we're going to throw the ball. We're going to see what they got to do when we throw the ball. So that's what we had. That's what we did, and we had over 400 yards.
Clemson remains number 1, Alabama 2, Georgia number 3. The online shopping giant Amazon looking to fill more than 30,000 vacant jobs by early next year. They're holding job fairs in 6 U.S. cities next week to find candidates. One of them is being held in Dallas. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
We were talking. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic time for Monday. Here's Ruben.
Starting things off, looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Kings Highway near Line Avenue. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 our high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app is a free download from Office Furniture Source. So we pushed on the bets.
Yeah, we did.
We had two LSU Texas bets. One was the over-under. I had 50 and down. You had 51 and up. And I lost on that one.
Yeah, did you ever?
Did you know that Texas had failed in games that Texas was the underdog in 11 of their last dozen games? Wow. Where they were the underdog, the over-under ended up being under 50. That's why I took that one.
Man.
But they scored like about 1,000 points.
Well, LSU had not won a road game against a top 10 opponent in like 25 years.
So you won the over-under bet, and thanks to a junk touchdown at the end of the game when LSU was too busy doing beauty queen waves on the sidelines.
Right, I would have won the other one too.
Yeah, you would have.
We gave them another
Yeah, because I had
touchdown.
11 and a half, right?
And they ended up winning by 7. And
Let me find you something. Hold on.
We really looked
You're
good.
scared. You're scared to get too involved. As crazed, as mad, as nuts, an LSU fan as you are, you have to look me in the eye and say, after watching that game, I'm scared I might start to care more than ever, and if it goes off the rails, I'll be heartbroken.
I will be heartbroken. I really have a problem today, Robert, that I really don't even know if I want to confess it.
What's that?
I didn't.
You didn't watch.
No.
What?
Of course I watched.
I don't know.
I didn't make sausage balls.
Oh,
made
wait, you could hear the moaning in the background from Reuben Lurch, right?
I made ribs instead,
Yeah.
and I was going to make the sausage balls later.
So you're going to be making ribs every game now.
I'm going to have a new tradition. I'm going to have to do ribs are harder than sausage balls.
From
So much harder.
From
Yeah.
ESPN. From ESPN. With LSU's big win at Texas, a game in which quarterback Joe Burrow catapulted himself into the Heisman conversation. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
With LSU's win at Texas, a game in which quarterback Joe Burrow catapulted himself into the Heisman conversation.
Oh, he was dominant.
As I said to a couple of folks on Saturday night post-game, I said, evidently, I grossly underestimated the degree of quarterback Burrow's improvement.
Threw for 471 yards.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
I made fun of you.
Yes, you did.
Here's where I have to get down on one knee and not propose marriage, but propose forgiveness.
Ew, grovel.
I said on Friday, can you, and I said this with all the looking down my nose sarcasm I could muster. I said, can you even imagine a scenario where LSU gets into early to mid-November, getting ready for the Alabama game, and people are referring to the LSU offense as a juggernaut?
Yeah, it's a juggernaut.
As ridiculous as that sounds, the LSU offense just may be a juggernaut.
They rolled up 45 points against the ninth-ranked team in the country.
Joe Burrow made a couple of throws. I think it was the second, maybe the third touchdown when he was covered. The receiver was covered to the inside, and he threw it over the outside shoulder so that the guy could come back.
Perfect passes.
Yeah.
Perfect passes.
He played. He was unbelievably good.
I think we play NSU next.
Yeah, Northwestern.
I'm not sure. That'll be a horrible game for Northwestern. The
You
cool
mean
thing is
say it?
Cupcake.
Cupcake
Yes,
game,
yes. Cool thing is you'll be able to hear it on KEEL because we carry Northwestern games, so that's a cool thing. The one thing that I do struggle with is that ribs hurt the TV when you throw them.
Well, they're harder to wipe up.
Yeah, and they're hard. They leave a lot of grease back behind.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Dogs get the bone.
Yeah, and you can't give dogs pork bones, so you just that's a problem for me. Oh man, I'm really so optimistic right now. You're exactly right that if we get a crushing defeat by a Mississippi State or somebody like that,
In other words,
or
if somebody,
Florida,
if anybody
I will be
knocks the
devastated.
Tigers off before the Alabama game.
I think I call in sick. I'm being honest. I don't think I can handle it. I truly don't think I can handle it.
Real LSU fans, and here's where we draw the line between crazy, nutty,
Rib throwing
LSU fans similar to yourself.
Uh-huh.
And the real crazies.
Yeah.
I thought you were among the real crazies. You're not. There is a level of LSU fan that is either so far above or so far beneath you,
Yes.
depending on which way you want to go. For the sake of you both, I will just refer to them as different from you.
Okay.
These are the real LSU fans. The ones who, despite the win, the ones who, despite the amazing performance, all they could see was bad coming out of that game.
Oh, my goodness.
What kind of defense was that?
Oh, goodness.
Burrow's throwing touchdowns against a bunch of 8th graders. I mean, you saw it on Facebook. You saw what I did.
Yeah.
If we keep... in fact, one I saw said, with the defense I saw tonight maybe Coach O should look at replacing Dave Aranda.
Coach O even has some negative comments about the defense. We'll play that at 7 o'clock in the 7 o'clock news because he's not real thrilled with the defense.
Starting to care too much. When you
This is going to crush me.
Just when you thought you couldn't care more.
Man.
Just when you thought you couldn't be more irrational.
Yeah.
Just when you thought you couldn't be more emotionally charged.
This is going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy for me.
At least you've got a week off. You have the equivalent of a week off.
Yeah.
Was it
yeah.
Northwestern that almost beat LSU about 4 or 5 years ago?
Ooh.
I think it was. It was like 13-13 or 17-14 going
or
into
Louisiana Tech, one of the two.
Yeah, no, I think it was Northwestern.
Oh,
I'm not
boy.
sure.
Please don't say that.
You might want to start those ribs.
Oh, goodness.
1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic update right now. Monday already. I said a second ago, do you realize one more week? It's the middle of September already. Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 or high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
FM 710 Keel Sports Time from Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes and roasted the New York Giants for 405 yards while posting a perfect quarterback rating in the Cowboys' season-opening 35-17 win at home over their NFC East rival. Prescott connected with 7 different receivers, with Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper each going over the 100-yard mark. Cooper caught one of Dak's scoring tosses just before the half to give the Cowboys a 21-7 lead. Blake Jarwin was wide open for the first score of the game to even things up at 7 apiece. Jason Witten, who ended his one-year retirement, caught Dak's second scoring toss. He finished with 3 catches. Randall Cobb was on the receiving end of Dak's final TD toss, and Ezekiel Elliott was somewhat limited after holding out the entirety of training camp, but he reached pay dirt on a 10-yard run to complete the Cowboys' barrage. The Saints open the 2019 season at home this evening against the Texans. Kickoff in the Superdome is set for 6:10 p.m. The Astros completed a 4-game sweep of Seattle with a 21-1 win on Sunday. Garrett Cole became just the second pitcher in big league history with 3 straight games of 14 or more strikeouts after fanning 15 Mariners in an 8-inning outing in which he allowed just 1 hit. The Astros hit a team record 11 doubles, 3 off the bat of rookie Yordan Alvarez. He delivered 6 RBI. Cole, pitching on his 29th birthday, won his 12th straight game. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Mudbugs hockey opens this weekend.
Wow.
Now, I'm mentioning sports again for a reason. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. Yeah, open their regular season Friday night, Saturday night, both games at home.
Goodness.
I told you that to tell you this. I had the strangest dream last night. And this is this is so weird. They wanted me to try out for the team.
We're both laughing out loud.
Now, understand, I can't skate.
Right.
So I would go to practices, and I would sit on the bench. And when guys would come over, I would get them water and hand them towels. Basically what I did as a player in high school.
High school, yeah. Mm-hmm.
High school, but you don't know this. I played basketball in high school. And by played basketball in high school, what I mean is I sat on the other side of the trainer and handed him towels and water.
The towel guy.
I was sort of the mule of towels.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically the Clint Eastwood. But the point being, I'm trying out for the Mudbugs, but I can't skate. And so I'm getting them towels and water and stuff. And then it comes to the final cut, and Muskie and Jason Soupy Campbell, they're in the locker room, and they announce I made the team.
Oh, God.
And
oh, my.
Yeah, my name's on the list. So we finish the meeting, and there's guys who are like packing their bags to leave, and they're looking all disappointed and looking at me, bluntly speaking, with a little bit of venom and vitriol.
Oh, they must really need a towel guy.
And I'm thinking, I need to do something about this. So I went into Muskie's office and I said, Muskie, what the heck? And he says, what do you mean? You earned the spot. I said, Muskie, I can't skate.
Skate.
I don't know how to point this out to you, but having a guy on a hockey team who can't skate
It might be a problem.
could be a detriment as we get further into the season.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what he looked at me in the eye and he said, you have been a part of this team since day one in 1997. You know the Mudbugs are about more than anything else character. And I looked at him. I said, but I can't skate. And he said, but you're a character guy, and that's the most important thing. And I didn't know what to say exactly.
Wow.
So I told him, and this is literally in the dream what I said, Muskie, I can't skate. He said, but you're a character guy. He kept hitting this. And I didn't want to tell him I'm not a character guy either.
No,
if it matters,
I'm kind of a wuss, yeah.
ask anybody who knows.
Yeah.
I'm not a character guy.
Nah.
Not only can I not skate, I'm not a character guy.
Right.
There's a bench clearing brawl. I'm at the concession stand getting pizza.
Right.
And he says, you're a character guy. I said, I can't skate. And I said, Muskie, you were in that locker room. You could see the looks on those guys' faces. When you called out my name, there were guys whose dreams were shattered. I said, you know what kind of character guy I am? Do you know how much character I have? I'm telling you right now. I want to give, this is in the dream, I swear to God. I want to give up my spot so that a younger player, somebody who may not be the character guy I am, but can skate,
Yeah.
can take a shot at his dream.
Right.
And he gets up and he walks around from his side of the desk and he shakes my hand and he says, I knew you were a character guy, but because you love Mudbugs hockey so much, I'll do it. And then I kind of woke up.
Oh, my
and I
goodness.
don't know what happened next, because you know how dreams, they just
Sure.
boom, 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 boom. That was one of the weirdest dreams
Wow.
I've had in a long time. Don't eat 4 hot dogs right before bed.
Bad plan. Yeah. Really bad
101.7.
plan.
Ooh, Mudbugs hockey Friday and Saturday night. I'll bet you we get Muskie and or Tommy Scott are both in before the week's over. Because I can't skate.
You're a character guy.
I'm not a character guy. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel local. I swear to you, that's exactly the dream I had. Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Starting things off, looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Kings Highway near Line Avenue. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 or high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Information. KEEL News now.
A memorial service held Sunday in the Bahamas for the victims of Hurricane Dorian. Rain Paulson is a UN official there.
It's encouraging, however, to see the way that some people, residents, are finding quick solutions to respond to the situation themselves, but they need support. There is an urgent need for critical life-saving supplies, food, water, sanitary hygiene packs.
At least 44 confirmed dead in the Bahamas. A Bossier man identified as the man killed in a train truck collision on West 70th. 36-year-old Bruce Dominique was walking beside a moving train crossing West 70th Street when an 18-wheeler crossed the tracks, causing the truck's trailer to swerve, pinning Dominique against the train. A big send-off for some Louisiana soldiers. Reuben Wright with that.
More than 50 guardsmen with the Louisiana National Guard will deploy to Afghanistan this week. The soldiers will be away from home for nearly 1 year. Once overseas, they'll provide air movement support and medical evacuation support to ground forces. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Reuben Wright.
The number of cases of lung disease or other pulmonary issues linked to vaping has ballooned since concerns were made public early last week. LSU Health New Orleans pulmonary expert Dr. Stephen Cantro says 450 cases from 33 states and possibly 4 deaths from pulmonary disease have been reported. So what's happening here?
It looks like about 85% of the time in the cases in the New England Journal, they were using these cannabinoids. They were doing CBD oil or THC oil in vape systems.
Alongside a link to CBD and THC oil use, vitamin E oil is another suspect in the rash of cases. With Congress back in session this week, Democrats are expected to focus heavily on new gun control legislation, but they have to gain common ground from President Trump and the Republican Party, especially on expanding background checks. Missouri Republican Senator Roy Blunt says what he thinks on NBC's Meet the Press about getting a Senate vote on new legislation.
We're not going to vote on bills on the Senate floor that the president's not willing to sign. The president needs to step up here and set some guidelines for what he would do. I'm afraid what's going to happen here is what always happens is we take this silly, if we don't get everything, we won't do anything, and fail to do the things we could do.
House Democrats are hosting a forum on gun violence prevention this week. The Shreveport City Council could take a final vote on putting the bond issue on the ballot in November. The measure is on the agenda for the City Council work session today and for tomorrow's big meeting. The bond package totals $186 million. And the LSU Tigers move up to number 4 in the AP poll. They were 6 last week, but had a convincing win over the Texas Longhorns. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Social.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Did you go to KISS on Saturday?
I did not, no.
I didn't either. Look, I'm not trying to make anybody angry. I'm not trying to upset anybody. And Matt, across the hall, when he comes in, our former producer, is a huge KISS fan.
Mm-hmm.
Massive. He says they're one of the greatest rock bands of all time. You, musician in the room, you tell me your thought. Are they just just a bunch of old guys now who hobble out on platform shoes? What is your
every band from the 70s is that now, but
are
look,
you a KISS fan?
I like KISS. I like some of their songs. I think they're better entertainers than musicians, but I like KISS. But I still didn't go.
We'll drag
The reason
Matt in
I didn't
here.
want to go
Yeah.
was because
You're out of makeup.
No. I'm told KISS is probably the loudest concert you'll ever attend.
Oh yeah.
I had some
and I
friends.
said I couldn't handle it.
I had some friends who went to the show, and I was told before the show, my friend told me that I saw them once before when I was in college, and my ears rang for 3 days.
Our boss took his 4-year-old granddaughter.
You know what?
And I told him, I said, you better bring some earplugs because that child will be whining 10 minutes in. And so he was doing that.
That's funny you say that, because one of the things that I saw on social media, one of the things I've been told is I talked to a lot of people who had gone yesterday, and they said you can't believe not only the numbers of like fathers and sons and mothers and daughters, but like you said, people close to our age with their grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the whole new generation has discovered KISS. No doubt about it.
I guess so.
And they are very popular. And
it's what, 2 original members? It's
Gene and Paul.
Paul
Stanley. Yeah.
Stanley. Then there's an
Simmons.
Ace. Okay, there's an Ace Frehley. He's not in the band anymore.
He's not there, no.
And who's the 4th guy? I don't know. They've got some guy who comes and goes. He's sort of
the drummer who.
I'm not going to
Pete
say
Best.
cat. Yeah,
Pete.
yeah.
Oh, I hate Pete Best. I think he was. Never mind. I was going to make a Yoko joke. And so it's Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley,
Right.
are the 2 original members.
Oh, they're still fully made up, I'm sure, right?
It was a lot of pyro and a lot of confetti there at the end. If you saw the videos, and it looked like it was a fun show.
Oh yeah, people loved it that were there. They were texting me too, and I'm trying to remind them there's a football game on. Leave me the hell alone.
I would
I'm
imagine
throwing ribs
there
at the
was...
TV, and when you're throwing ribs at the TV, you can't grab your cell phone because you get grease on your phone and all that.
I would imagine there were close to 12,000, 10, 11,000 people there on Saturday
Oh,
night.
I bet.
I heard it was
I
packed,
bet.
yeah.
Wow.
Big crowd.
Wow.
Big crowd. And Kiss is Rogers down the hall is like, he follows them around the country.
I had a friend of mine, my friend Anthony, who went to the show wearing a Kiss T-shirt, and you know what he did at the concert?
What?
Bought a new Kiss T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. When we come back, Sunday Night Football last night, a truly offensive commercial.
Huh?
I think we'll cover that. I'm not 100%. I'll tell you. You can tell me what you think.
Okay.
Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 or high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Sunday Night Football last night. It was, oh my God, Patriots and Steelers.
Yeah, it was no contest.
It was like 30-3.
It was ugly.
It was rough. Mm-hmm. It was rough.
I loved watching the pomp and circumstance at the beginning of the game when they lowered their banner, did all that fun stuff.
Oh,
that
for
was
the Patriots
cool. Yeah,
championship
Super Bowl,
ceremony.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
In the midst of the game, and I had seen it a couple of times before, and it was the first time I saw it, I think may have been during a college game last weekend. Maybe it was a college game on Saturday. I don't know. But I know I saw it again last night, and I went, what the? You and I talk all the time when there are things on television or in any media at a big level, like a national level, that could be construed to be offensive to a lot of people. And you wonder how, along the way, that made it through all the cuts. In other words, and you'll see what I'm getting at in a couple of seconds, but you and I talk about this all the time, i.e. from its original idea all the way to getting the thumbs up for production, that nobody said, excuse me, but that might be offensive. The point being, look, I'm not easily offended, but I was offended by this. It first caught my attention, and I thought, what the hell is that? then I knew what it was. I mean, I knew what it was, but I wondered what the commercial was. And then I realized it's a freaking ad for Amazon Prime. And they're playing Franz Schubert's Ave Maria as the music bed for trying to sell Amazon Prime 1-day or 2-day delivery. And the lyric of Franz Schubert's Ave Maria in Latin, altar boy knows, Ave Maria, gratia plena. The whole lyric is prayer. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum. On the ad, it's Ave Maria, gratia plena, which means Hail Mary, full of grace. And they're showing a kid playing a guitar, and they're trumpeting the fact that he got his hair gel overnight. And they're singing Hail Mary, full of grace. Then there's another one. There's a little girl playing the drums, and they're heralding the fact that she got her drums 2-day delivery. Hail Mary, full of grace. And I'm thinking, wait a second. Hold on just a second. How did Franz Schubert's Catholic prayer, Ave Maria, gratia plena, Hail Mary, full of grace, how did that make it from the original idea to sell Amazon Prime overnight or 2-day delivery all the way
to the screen,
to production, and nobody went, wait a second. There's a lot of people who might find that offensive.
I don't find it offensive. I think it's kind of cool.
That they would say, Hail Mary, full of grace, to show...
I think it's kind of cool.
That they would use...
Let's all pray a little more.
That they would use the Catholic prayer, Hail Mary, full of grace, to announce the fact that you can get your hair gel overnight. I got news for you.
We can pray more about anything, and I'm happy with that.
Anybody has any idea, other than people who are Catholic or at least religiously inclined, what that is? The point is, it's out and out sacrilege. It is at...
No, it's not.
It is at worst...
You got your panties in too much of a tizzy.
It is at worst sacrilege.
No.
It is at least gross disrespect.
No.
Then why don't they use a Muslim prayer next? You know why? Because that would be disrespectful. And I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they should, because...
as a Catholic, I'm like... Anytime you want to play that, go ahead.
Because there is a...
It makes people look it up. It makes somebody else come to the Lord.
Because
Who
there
knows?
is a target on Christianity. There is a target on Catholicism.
Oh, you're too ultra-sensitive. Come on, Robert.
Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884.
Oh, my panties are all tossed up over this.
Watching Sunday Night Football, I saw an Amazon TV spot with Ave Maria as the music bed.
Oh, come on.
Several times. I don't think it was a wise choice. I am certainly not a holy roller, not that religious a man, but that spot could unintentionally, no, I don't think it's unintentional, put a lot of people off. Please discuss. And then there are a number of comments.
I don't have that big a problem with it. I really don't. You know, play more religious music behind your commercials.
What reference to religion, and I want you to think about this, what reference to God, what reference to religion, what reference to what you hold sacred could be used on an ad to sell hair gel, or the delivery of hair gel, to a small child that you would find offensive.
Ooh, I'd have to think about it.
And why are you the decider? The point is,
all I'm saying is, why not? Let's have more religion anywhere we can.
Do you think the Amazon ad agency that threw all this together, from origination to final production to final approval, said, you know, we, being the Christian, God-fearing, respectful of the beliefs of others organization that we are, do you really think they put Franz Schubert's Ave Maria on that commercial out of respect for Christianity, or because they wanted to deride Christianity, or to make it worse because they didn't even know?
They did not want to deride Christianity. They wanted to get what is happening right now. Doofuses on radio stations around America talking about them. They're getting exactly what they wanted.
So they purposely offended people so we'd talk about it.
It doesn't offend me.
What would offend you? What music could they put on an Amazon ad that was religious? And how's about, well, I want you to think about it. We'll go to break.
Something about the crucifixion maybe. I'll have to think about it.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
What? Bring on more religion. Bring it on.
Do you think for an instant...
Let's put some religion back in the schools, too, while we're at it.
Do you think they did that because their goal was to enlighten and or expose the Blessed Virgin?
No, their goal is exactly what is happening right now.
In other words, to deride, to insult, and to defame.
No, not to insult. To get people talking about it.
Horse hockey.
And we're remembering the company that did it, Amazon.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. I'll say that again, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Tighten those, pull that blindfold down a little tighter. Traffic time, I'll do weather. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Weather Channel forecast, a fall weather trend. High today only 97. 72 at KEEL. .7 FM, 710 KEEL. Time for sports. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes and roasted the New York Giants for 405 yards while posting a perfect quarterback rating in the Cowboys' season-opening 35-17 win at home over their NFC East rival. Prescott connected with 7 different receivers, with Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper each going over the 100-yard mark. Cooper caught one of Dak's scoring tosses just before the half to give the Cowboys a 21-7 lead. Blake Jarwin was wide open for the first score of the game to even things up at 7 apiece. Jason Witten, who ended his one-year retirement, caught Dak's second scoring toss. He finished with 3 catches. Randall Cobb was on the receiving end of Dak's final TD toss, and Ezekiel Elliott was somewhat limited after holding out the entirety of training camp, but he reached pay dirt on a 10-yard run to complete the Cowboys' barrage. The Saints open the 2019 season at home this evening against the Texans. Kickoff in the Superdome is set for 6:10 p.m. The Astros completed a 4-game sweep of Seattle with a 21-1 win on Sunday. Garrett Cole became just the second pitcher in big league history with 3 straight games of 14 or more strikeouts after fanning 15 Mariners in an 8-inning outing in which he allowed just 1 hit. The Astros hit a team record 11 doubles, 3 off the bat of rookie Yordan Alvarez. He delivered 6 RBI. Cole, pitching on his 29th birthday, won his 12th straight game. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, did they really, speaking of sacrilege, did they really put the LSU band in the nosebleed seats at the top of, or even in the bottom of the second row of Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium in Austin?
That's what happened, it looks like.
Why did they do that?
That's pretty cold. Because of tickets. They sold so many tickets to the game.
Do you think it was an oversight? Do you think it was an insult? Do you think it was?
Of course it's an insult.
Really?
Come on.
Now, wait a second.
That's cold. Their band is like right there on the bottom.
Okay, but it's the UT band.
Of course it is.
Do you think they purposely put the LSU band for this game basically in orbit around the stadium? And do they do that for every game? Do they do that for every visiting team band?
I don't know, but I was not happy with them. I thought that was really tasteless and classless. And shame on you, Texas, and all your Texas fans.
So when a visitor comes in, when a visiting team,
we don't do that at LSU.
Where do they put the visiting band?
They have a spot for them.
Where is that?
I don't know where it is. It may change every year. We have the section for the LSU band. Then we have another spot for the visiting band.
But they're not.
And it's usually over there in the corner by their fans.
Basically, as someone said on Facebook,
it's not up in the upper deck. No.
When Texas comes to play at LSU next year, their band will be at Alex Box Stadium.
They're going to be in the Mike the Tiger cage.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, coming up just after 7 o'clock. More LSU football stuff because Erin thinks it's too good to be true. And Shreveport City Council, work session today, meeting tomorrow. We will review the itinerary. And Erin is debating taking on the Department of Transportation and Development. That's still sort of up in the air.
Struggling with that.
Traffic time. No. Time for Rush on Keel.
The creative geniuses at Netflix have come up with a new series, and it's not from the Obamas, who are now Netflix producers. I think for the record, the Obamas wouldn't touch this project with a 10-foot pole. It's called Girls on the Bus. It's about 4 fictional female journalists as they hit the campaign trail, covering fictional presidential candidates. Now, while following the candidates, these female journalists find friendship, love, and a scandal. According to the PR hype, this scandal could supposedly take down the presidency and our entire democracy. The storyline was inspired, what do you think? It was inspired by Hillary Clinton's failed campaign, as covered by Amy Chozick, a reporter for the New York Times. Girls on the Bus is adapted from her novel, Chasing Hillary, 10 years, 2 presidential campaigns, and 1 intact glass ceiling. The Netflix series described as coming-of-age, romantic comedy, or set on the campaign trail, something like that. Since it's based on Hillary, it can't be purposely funny, but it's got to be scandal-ridden. Now, for those of you reluctant to watch an entire series about Mrs. Clinton, try this. Just tune into the last episode. If it's even loosely connected to reality, you'll enjoy watching what happens on election night. She will lose and her mind, just like the real Hillary Clinton turned out to do in real life. We can hope. Imagine that I only gave you part of a news story. Be pretty hard to follow, right? Well, that's exactly what happens when you rely on your credit card and bank statements to protect your identity. I mean, sure, your bank can help detect credit card fraud, but not the many other ways your identity can be stolen, like when somebody opens a new account or applies for an online loan in your name. That's why there's LifeLock. LifeLock uses technology to alert you to a wider range of identity threats, and if you have a problem, one of their U.S.-based specialists will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you can get more comprehensive identity protection than you can get anywhere else. Join now, get 10% off when you visit LifeLock.com, promo code RUSH, or call them, 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH. That's LifeLock.com, promo code RUSH, and extra 10% off.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 or high. Richard DeWettig, the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport. The KEEL Morning Show with Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Breaking news and trending talk on 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning, just after 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM and 710 KEEL. Lots of local news and stuff is next. Erin's got it. What you got?
City Council has a big meeting today. We'll talk about if they've got anything really special to do. LSU moves up to number 4 in the country. And CBD licenses. How many folks are selling that little oil stuff?
The hypocrisy, it just drips off the walls in here. The woman at the other end of the gopher-shaped table who was so concerned that I was too old to drive 10 hours in the car is sending me out to play flag football.
Yeah.
But wait till I run down the list of celebrity players, one of whom, I'm not going to give it away, we've talked about him before.
Yeah.
Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, it's all coming up this hour. It's right here on KEEL.
Now on 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
Investigators believe a child playing with a lighter led to a house fire in Jackson Parish that killed 2 children, a 2-month-old girl and a 3-year-old boy who just celebrated a birthday. State Fire Marshal Butch Browning says there were 5 children in the home when the blaze started. 3 children were able to get out unharmed, but Browning says the lone adult at home at the time couldn't get to the 2 children who died.
And when he tried to reach the 2 children in the master bedroom, both from the inside and the outside, the smoke and fire had progressed so bad they couldn't get to them, and they subsequently died on the scene.
Saturday night's fatal fire occurred in the town of Hodge. It's the second fire in North Louisiana in 2 weeks that was started by a child using a lighter. A Bossier City man identified as the man killed in a train truck collision on West 70th Street. 36-year-old Bruce Dominique was walking beside a moving train crossing West 70th when an 18-wheeler crossed the railroad tracks, causing the truck's trailer to swerve, pinning Dominique against the train. More than 50 guardsmen with the Louisiana National Guard deploying to Afghanistan this week. The soldiers will be away from home for nearly a year. Once overseas, they'll provide air movement support and medical evacuation support to ground forces. Hundreds of businesses sign up to sell CBD products in Louisiana. Reuben Wright with a closer look.
Nearly 800 Louisiana businesses have gotten permits to sell CBD products. A spokesman from the Alcohol Tobacco Control says they've gotten more than 1,000 applications. CBD is used in oils and lotions that some believe are beneficial to their health. From the news desk of 1017 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Reuben Wright.
Big news in the fight against cancer in Louisiana. The National Cancer Institute is providing $13.6 million to combine research efforts in the state. The network merges the Community Oncology Research Program run by Ochsner Cancer Center into one involving LSU Health New Orleans and cancer centers in Shreveport and Baton Rouge. The LSU Tigers got a big win over number 9 Texas Longhorns. Quarterback Joe Burrow threw for 471 yards, second highest total in school history. The Tigers' offense, though, had to keep scoring because the usually reliable Bayou Bengals defense couldn't stop Sam Ehlinger and the Texas offense. Ehlinger threw for 401 yards and 4 TDs, even though he was sacked 5 times. Coach Ed Orgeron is not happy with how the defense played.
I think we got to go back and look at what we did and evaluate what can we do better. And there was people wide open. There was too many penalties. There was not enough rush overall. I don't think it was very good on defense. We know that. We didn't tackle well in space. We couldn't stop them.
The Tigers do move up in the AP poll, up now to number 4. Clemson still number 1. I'm Erin McCarty on 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
FM 710 KEEL traffic time Monday stuff. Here's Ruben.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic at the intersection at Line Avenue and East 70th Street, and we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 our high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Louisiana is
You just gave her like this ominous look. What the heck?
No, I just told her we start at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, actually, we don't start trying till about 8:45.
Yeah.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The Keel app is always a free download from Office Furniture Source. In studio for a little bit is Miss Katrina Early. She is a Democrat candidate for the state Senate, opposing incumbent, among others, John Milkovich, if memory serves.
Yes, sir.
This is your first shot. This
is my first.
So, explain to us. It just doesn't, it just doesn't occur to somebody on Friday, and then you put your name in the entry box on Monday. You had to give us a little Katrina Early background. What motivated you to want to basically give up 75% of your life and serve Louisiana?
Wow. Well, that's a good question. I came to Shreveport, Louisiana 19 years ago.
Where are you from originally?
I am originally from Arkansas, Newport, Arkansas,
Oh,
a small country town.
Up north.
Yes.
Yeah.
8,000 people. So when I came to Shreveport, it's a big city. Woo, huge. And I've been serving from day one. I've always given back to the community. I've always given back from my agency. I've been a good neighbor, State Farm agent in the community for 19 years.
Well, you had said she was with the YWCA for a while, involved with
I was a member, yes. I was a board member.
Served on the board. That
Yes.
means a lot to me.
This seems to be the next logical step, I guess.
Yes. I am a 21-year retired Army reservist. I am a 13-year drill sergeant, and I am a 2-year equal opportunity representative. So I've had my name in the hat in many, many places.
Okay. If he asks you any dumb questions, will you answer it with the drill sergeant voice?
I would do my best.
Okay. I got to ask you about something that's just bugging me, because I've heard this around town. I know you heard it, so let's dispel it or tell it still that the folks want John Milkovich out so bad that they put you in the race.
I will have to say that's not correct.
Okay.
And I have to say that,
You've
and
heard
I stand
that.
on that. I've heard that.
Of course.
But no one put me in the race.
Right.
I put myself in the race.
Okay.
And I say that because as I have been in this city for so many years, I've seen the decline. And I've always given back, like I said. So as I looked at the qualifications, I said, wait a minute. I'm qualified.
So what? You're a Democrat, Milkovich.
Yes.
Well, what's your big
Democrat?
issue with him?
Yeah. What's Mr. John's?
I don't have an issue with Mr. Milkovich. Okay. And I say that to honestly say that I just met Mr. Milkovich probably maybe not even 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I will say that some of his beliefs I don't believe in.
Name a couple.
One is he voted against our historical African American colleges, and I disagree with that. I think that a lot of our citizens from here, I do know a lot of our citizens from here, from Grambling, from Southern, they came from here and they have given back to this community so many times up and down where they deserve to be funded.
Let's ask
those
you
colleges.
some specific questions about the local I-49. A decision will likely be made about that during this next term.
Yes.
The inner city connector. How do you feel about that? Will you pledge today to put that on a fast track to get that done?
As for if it does not affect a lot of our citizens, and I know that it will be going through some of those neighborhoods.
55 homes is what it looks like. It might have to be relocated.
Yeah, so that right there is kind of touchy because our homes, that's our stability, that's our foundation. So I don't know if I would be able to do that.
Well, I'm glad you're honest about that. Taxes. Would you vote to increase a gas tax?
And I looked at that last night, and I said no to the questionnaire. I did say no. However, before I submitted it completely, I did want to do more research on it. And I have to be honest about that as well. This is something
sounds
new
like
for
a yes.
me. Yes. This is something that I'm...
What would be the reason you would vote to increase gas taxes?
I haven't came up with the reason. So as I looked at it, I said no, but I said, let me go back and do some research before I actually submit the final answer.
Is Katrina Early's natural instinct to vote against tax increases when there's a tax increase, when it comes up, is your first thought, instinctive no, but maybe you can. You better show me this is money well spent.
Yes, exactly that. Because sometimes we may have to increase taxes in order to get the improvements that we need here in the city. So it just depends on what it's dealing with.
You think John Bell's been a good governor?
I think he has been a good governor. I believe so. He's given us more health benefits throughout the state. And even myself, I am a breast cancer survivor. And from the last report, over 70,000 women in the state have been able to have mammograms. So just think about if I was one of those women, was not able to have a mammogram, I may not even be here on this radio station now.
Let me ask you this. The governor came in saying that there was a fiscal cliff. We had to raise taxes some $300 million. Now or way more than that, actually, about $1 billion. Now we have a surplus of $300 million. Are you concerned about how the math is being done in Baton Rouge and how they'll tend to tax us first and then move on from there? Are you worried about that?
I need to do more research on that.
Okay.
Because it seems like, okay, we have increases in taxes. Now we have a surplus. We don't have a deficit, which is a good thing. So I think I do need to do more research on it before I go in depth with that.
All right. You would be leaving from a community to represent us,
yes,
where we have lost more than 2,000 jobs from 1 year ago.
Yes.
The governor is touting, how we've got the lowest unemployment rate than we've ever had. Shreveport Bossier is hurting with regard to jobs.
Yes.
What does Katrina Early do about that?
What I would like to do is I would like to go down to Baton Rouge, do more research, get my feet in the water, and do more research to see what we can do to bring more resources here back to the north side of the state and try to bridge the gap between the common person as well as the six-digit person.
Katrina Early, candidate for State Senate District 38. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You bet.
Drill Sergeant, I'm pretty intimidated.
Oh, that's scary, isn't it?
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic time right now. Ruben looks ready.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Airline Drive near Olmsted Road in Bossier City, and we have some traffic delays on Uri Drive and Southfield Road. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 or high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 KEEL time for sports. Fletcher's ready.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes and roasted the New York Giants for 405 yards while posting a perfect quarterback rating in the Cowboys' season-opening 35-17 win at home over their NFC East rival. Prescott connected with 7 different receivers, with Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper each going over the 100-yard mark. Cooper caught one of Dak's scoring tosses just before the half to give the Cowboys a 21-7 lead. Blake Jarwin was wide open for the first score of the game to even things up at 7 apiece. Jason Witten, who ended his one-year retirement, caught Dak's second scoring toss He finished with 3 catches. Randall Cobb was on the receiving end of Dak's final TD toss, and Ezekiel Elliott was somewhat limited after holding out the entirety of training camp, but he reached pay dirt on a 10-yard run to complete the Cowboys' barrage. The Saints open the 2019 season at home this evening against the Texans. Kickoff in the Superdome is set for 6:10 p.m. The Astros completed a 4-game sweep of Seattle with a 21-1 win on Sunday. Garrett Cole became just the second pitcher in big league history with 3 straight games of 14 or more strikeouts after fanning 15 Mariners in an 8-inning outing in which he allowed just 1 hit. The Astros hit a team record 11 doubles, 3 off the bat of rookie Yordan Alvarez. He delivered 6 RBI. Cole, pitching on his 29th birthday, won his 12th straight game. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.107 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Do you think LSU, what are they, number 4 now?
Number 4, yeah.
You think that's high enough? You think they're getting...
Well, I love that there are 3 SEC teams in the top 4. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we talked to some people about that this weekend, and that's, that theory's stupid.
Kind of cool. No, it's not.
It is.
It is not.
But you're rooting for those SEC teams to lose. Do you want Alabama to win all their games?
No.
Then why are you rooting for SEC? Do you want Georgia to win all their games? No. Then why are you rooting for SEC teams?
I want them to show up strong now and then fade later, like when we play them.
Don't play Georgia.
I think we do this year.
Do you really?
I think so, yeah. I think we do.
So do you think Joe Burrow is a legitimate, hold on, if you missed it last hour, I found this last night. Let me track it down based on his 98 for 100 passing stats. No, that wasn't quite. It was that close to that good. I mean, did you have any inclination that he was going to be as good a player as he was against Texas?
No.
Do you think Texas was just? Do you think honestly? Do you think the kid's that good, or do you think Texas their defensive secondary was just? And believe me, they got no praise from the guys doing the game. Mm-hmm. They got no praise from the guys on TV. In fact, it was right after the second touch, and he said, well, LSU can score anytime they want. The Texas defenders are overmatched.
Yeah.
So basically, were they just Georgia Southern in a bigger city, in a bigger stadium?
No, Texas is way better than Georgia Southern.
With LSU's win at Texas, evidently not in the defensive secondary. With LSU's win at Texas, a game, this is ESPN now, with LSU's win at Texas, a game in which quarterback Joe Burrow catapulted himself into the Heisman conversation. ... Is that legit?
You have to think about it.
I mean, right now are the 2 front runners for the Heisman Trophy. Is it basically the Trevor kid at Clemson, Then what's his name? Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma, who had another awesome game. The
There's
Alabama
a running back in there, too.
The
I
Alabama
forget.
transfer running backs don't have a chance. And Joe Burrow. Is he in the top 3 or 4 in conversation for a Heisman Trophy?
We don't play Georgia, by the way. I don't know. I like it. I like having it there. That'd be awesome.
Are they playing so well that, as insane an LSU fan as you can oftentimes be,
I can be.
are you worried that if they play, is there something about this team? Is there something about these players, specifically Burrow? Is there something about the way that they've opened up the offense that makes you care and hope a little bit more than that 3 yards in a cloud of turf history of LSU? Do you already have an emotional attachment to this team that you?
Oh, come on! My emotional attachment is crazy.
That in previous years you maybe haven't had.
Yes, the Saturday night game made me think we really are a contender. We really could be a contender, and I'm really now feeling that deeply in my gut. And Texas has got a strong team. What's his name? Sam.
Ensminger.
Ellinger.
Ellinger. Hell, neither one of us got it right.
Yeah, he's
Ellinger. It's Ellinger.
He is a force to be reckoned with. No doubt about it. And he's a good quarterback. Texas is not what they were a couple of years ago when they were, horrible.
It's almost 10 years since they've been good. Since Mac Brown was coach.
But they're back. And they have a pretty good team this year. So I'm impressed. I'm excited about it. I don't like that somebody scored 38 points on us.
What did Coach O say about the defense?
We need work. We need to shore up the holes, I think is what he just said, and we need to do better at that, and we're going to get right to work on that when they get back to Baton Rouge and get on it. So
if the guy's such a good quarterback, aren't you going to give up, say, 25, 30 points against a quarterback who is top-notch like is? The Texas guy,
or the Alabama guy, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah,
they're going to score points on you. I mean, that's just what they do. You just have to score more, and we got an offense now that can score more, and that makes me feel really good to my core.
So when I asked you a couple of weeks ago, and a week ago after the Georgia Southern game, and I said, "Can you perceive?" Look, I'll be the first to admit I didn't think the kid was that good. I didn't think he was nearly that good. As I said to a bunch of folks on Saturday, I evidently and obviously grossly underestimated the level of improvement of Joe Burrow. When I said to you sarcastically last week, I said, can you imagine a scenario where LSU gets into November, early to mid-November, and is 5-0, 6-0, whatever it happens to be? And they might even be can you imagine a scenario, I said, where they use the term offensive juggernaut to describe Joe Burrow and those receivers, and to some degree the running game? And I said that looking down my nose at you, knowing what LSU has been historically, knowing that they are, as I said, 3 yards in a cloud of turf, and we're going to hand the ball off, and we're going to hope to break a 40-yard run and grind it out. And suddenly you've got a guy out there who's flinging it.
I think they're a juggernaut. I really do. I really do think they're an offensive juggernaut, and you're going to have to find a way to stop them. Good luck with that.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic time. Local news just ahead, by the way. Here's Ruben.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic at the intersection at Line Avenue and East 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 our high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
information. KEEL News now.
Big action before the Shreveport City Council this week. They could be ordering and calling a special election to be held in the city in November to authorize the incurring of debt and issuing bonds to the tune of $186 million. This could be a final vote during tomorrow's meeting. More than 50 National Guardsmen from Louisiana will deploy to Afghanistan this week. The soldiers will be away from home for nearly a year. Once overseas, they'll provide air movement support and medical evacuation support to ground forces. We now know more about the tragic fatality involving a train. Reuben Wright with that.
A Bossier City man is identified as the man killed in a train-truck collision on West 70th Street. 36-year-old Bruce Dominic was walking beside a moving train crossing West 70th Street when an 18-wheeler crossed the railroad tracks, causing the truck's trailer to swerve, pinning Dominic against the train. From the news desk of 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Reuben Wright.
Nearly 800 Louisiana businesses have gotten permits to sell CBD products. A spokesman from Alcohol and Tobacco Control says they've gotten more than 1,000 applications. CBD is used in oils and lotions that some believe are beneficial to their health. Investigators believe a child playing with a lighter led to a house fire in Jackson Parish that killed 2 children, a 2-month-old girl and a 3-year-old boy who just celebrated a birthday. State Fire Marshal Butch Browning says there were 5 children in the home when the blaze started.
One of those children actually accidentally set a couch on fire in the living room.
3 children were able to get out unharmed, but Browning says the lone adult at home at the time couldn't get to the 2 kids who died. Big news in the fight against cancer in our state. The National Cancer Institute is providing $13.6 million to combine research efforts in Louisiana. The network merges the community oncology research program run by Ochsner Cancer Center into one involving LSU Health New Orleans and cancer centers in Shreveport and Baton Rouge. Now, it will also include some Mississippi cities. LSU moves up to number 4 from 6 after a convincing win over the Texas Longhorns. The LSU new spread offense is legit. Quarterback Joe Burrow threw for 471 yards, second highest total in school history. Justin Jefferson had 9 catches for 163 yards and 3 TDs.
They've been talking all week, the DBU and all that extra stuff. We didn't worry about all that. We worried about us. And, we told Joe, Coach Brady said that we was going to come out here and we're going to throw the ball. We're going to see what they got to do when we throw the ball. So that's what we had. That's what we did, and we had over 400 yards.
Clemson remains number 1, Alabama 2, Georgia number 3. The online shopping giant Amazon looking to fill more than 30,000 vacant jobs by early next year. They're holding job fairs in 6 U.S. cities next week to find candidates. One of them is being held in Dallas. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Oh, yeah, we have to talk about sports later because you're trying to kill me. We're going to talk about that at 41 or 42.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, your abject hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You're not in the will. I kind of have a will.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you're not in it. And if I do an update, you're not in it. We'll cover that in about 5 minutes. City Council work session today. Shreveport City Council work session today. Did I say 101.7 FM, 710 Keel? Robert and Erin, Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. Council work session today. Wait a second. I thought it was official. I thought it was all.
I think this is the final vote. I think it was first reading. Now it's on second reading, and I think they have it's on their agenda. So I assume they're
talking about the bond issue.
Doing a final vote to put it on the agenda. It was a 4-3 vote last time, so I'm sure it'll be the same this time. I don't know.
If one considers, let's see, the 4 votes to put the $186 million version of the bond issue on the ballot in November. I'm thinking about the 4 votes. Bowman, Bradford, Green, Fleury. Do you think there has been, we can call Mr. James, or you can text him and ask. If it's not carved in stone yet, if it's not a done deal, has anyone been working him behind the scenes saying, it's not too late to change that vote, James. It's not too late. You can do the right thing. You can do what's good for you.
I don't think that's going to happen.
The nay votes, Fuller, Butcher, Nicholson. You think they've been going, James, watch the watch. Watch the watch.
No, that's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
No.
Text him right now. You've got his phone number, right?
Yeah, I've got his phone number.
Text James Fleury if one actually considers him to be the deciding vote to put the bond issue on the ballot. Has anybody been working you? I don't mean trying to bribe you. I don't mean trying to get you anything illicit or illegal. Just I wonder what kind of pressure, even from his constituents.
Yeah.
What kind of blowback, what kind of feedback, what kind of response have you been getting? Have you been getting from your constituents, since you are considered to be the 4th vote to put the bond issue on the ballot in November? See what he has to say.
I'll see what he says.
Yeah.
He's
it wouldn't be a long interview. It would be so, Mr. James, we got 30 seconds here. Anybody leaning on you? Got more friends than you ever thought? Or is it more enemies?
He's got some enemies, I would bet.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Erin McCarty, hypocrite, the Black Widow, Erin McCarty.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. I will explain later. Here's Ruben.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Airline Drive near Olmsted Road in Bossier City, and we have some traffic delays on Uri Drive and Southfield Road. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 or high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Hypocrite, Black Widow, Death Wisher.
You're going to be okay.
I'm not arguing that I will survive.
Maybe not.
The point I'm bringing up is the obvious hypocrisy. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. What did you say before I went on vacation? You browbeat me. You harangued. You were the queen of haranguing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes a haranguer.
I was a haranganator.
You were harangatang. It was awful. Tell everybody.
I was really worried about you driving all the way to Michigan all by yourself at your
Say it. Say it. Say it.
At your
You were worried that Grandpa down here.
Something's going to happen to you en route.
What could happen? What will you do?
You could have a flat. You could fall asleep and hit a tree.
She made me promise. You promise you'll stop and nap and pee under a tree every hour. I said, well, which under the tree would you rather I do? The point being, for a woman that was so belligerent, that was so...
I was worried for your safety.
Oh, crap. That was, for God's sake, Erin, let it go. For a woman who is so worried about my health, are you sure you're not too old?
Why don't you just fly?
To drive all the way?
That's too long for you.
6 whole states, baby. What are you going to do?
You're gonna get hurt.
What if you die along the way?
Mm-hmm.
So... if you were so worried about that, if you so questioned my physical stamina, my physical ability to drive to Michigan,
right,
a 2-day drive, if you were so worried about that, why on earth did you sign me up for a flag football game to be played this Saturday in 100-degree weather? You hypocrite.
Against everybody that's half your age.
You black widow. You're a horrible... Explain that to me. All of us are listening. Ruben, me, thousands of people across the Arklatex.
Well, our dear friends at the YMCA called and said, we're having a celebrity flag football game, and we'd really like to have you and Robert play in it.
It's Saturday at noon.
Mesmer Stadium.
At Mesmer Stadium. That's the Loyola joint right there off of Clyde Fan.
Yes.
And it's sort of this big sort of inaugural day. It's the kickoff for their flag football season for all the kids. And they're having a celebrity flag football game to kick off the season.
And they wanted us to play. And I said, Robert's in. Me, not so much. I've got a little back issue going on right now.
The roster of players includes Mayor Adrian Perkins.
Oh, he's going to kill you.
Mudbugs General Manager Scott Mustard.
Oh, he's going to drive you to the ground.
Tim Fletcher.
Oh, Tim's going to take your head off.
Roy Lang from the Times.
Oh, Roy's going for the knees.
Community Foundation of North Louisiana Chief Executive Officer Christy Gustafson.
She might be okay to you.
She'll. Oh no, she's a headhunter. Everybody.
She's going after it? Okay.
Centenary basketball coach Chris Dorsey, Doug Warner, and Adria Goins from KSLA.
Oh, they're going for you.
Here's an interesting irony. Chairman of the Department of Orthopedics at LSU Health, Dr. Shane Barton.
Get to know him real well while you're there, okay?
Now, I've got a story about this guy, and I want to see if you remember. Former University of Alabama football star Drew Davis. Do you remember my Drew Davis story?
No.
Whom I met one day at walk-ons?
No.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay, this is legit. Drew Davis, who lives here now, played offensive tackle for University of Alabama.
Oh, my God, he's going to crush you.
Nick Saban's first national championship.
Ooh.
He was on that team.
Okay.
He was drafted by the Cleveland Browns and eschewed the NFL for investment banking. He was thinking long-term.
Okay.
Here's my Drew Davis story. I'm at walk-ons one day. I've got to go pee. I go back to the men's room. There's a line outside the door.
All of your stories have to do with you peeing.
And a guy who played for Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm in good company. So I'm standing there waiting in line to get into the room. And there's this guy. He's about 6'7", tall, lanky guy. And we get to talking, and I said, I'm Robert. He's Drew. Where are you from? And he said, well, I'm from Alabama originally. I said, which part? I grew up in Birmingham. He said, I'm from, did he say Vestavia or Hoover? I think he said Vestavia, which was where we lived. It may have been Hoover, but that's not the
Okay.
point. I said, "Oh, where'd you go to school?" He said, "I went to University of Alabama." I said, "No kidding." He said, "I played ball there." Well, I'm looking at this guy who's about 6'7", about 220 pounds. And I'm thinking, point guard, power forward, shooting. I'm thinking basketball.
Sure.
I said, "What position? Forward?" And he goes, "Offensive tackle."
Whoa! 220-pound offensive tackle?
I said, "Hold on, kid. You're 6'7", and you weigh," he said, "about 220 or 225. I said, "And you played?" He said, "Well, I've dropped over 100 pounds.
Wow.
I said, "What?" He said, "When I played at Alabama, when I played offensive tackle for the Crimson Tide, I played at about 315 to 325 pounds."
Golly.
And then he told me the story how he played for Saban's first national championship team at Alabama. He was offensive tackle. So we take care of business. I go back to the table. I'm on my phone looking up Drew Davis, University of Alabama. There's a million photos of this guy at 320 pounds.
Big old guy, yeah.
And he had mentioned he had been drafted by the Browns. I guess his wife is from this area, maybe Shreveport, I don't recall. And they wanted to settle here because her family was here, etc. And I said, how did you, he said, look, he said, when I was playing ball, he said, I just got tired of being full. He said, all I did was eat, take supplements, and work out. He said, it's just hard. I just got tired of it. It's too hard. He said, all I had to do to drop 100 pounds was not do D. LaMille or Richard Simmons or stop the insanity or anything else. He said, I just went back to a normal lifestyle.
Wow.
But if you can look it up, we'll go to break in a second. You can look it up on on just Google it.
Please pray he's on your team.
Drew Davis, or that he hadn't put the weight back on. It's Saturday, noon, Mesmer Stadium, charity game to kick off the YWCA flag football
YMCA.
season. YMCA flag football season. Gary, we'll talk about it again later. Hypocrite. KEEL Weather Channel forecast, sunny, hot today, but under 100 right now. 73 degrees at KEEL. On 7 FM, 710 KEEL, time for sports. Mr. Tim is here.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes and roasted the New York Giants for 405 yards while posting a perfect quarterback rating in the Cowboys' season-opening 35-17 win at home over their NFC East rival. Prescott connected with 7 different receivers, with Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper each going over the 100-yard mark. Cooper caught one of Dak's scoring tosses just before the half to give the Cowboys a 21-7 lead. Blake Jarwin was wide open for the first score of the game to even things up at 7 apiece. Jason Witten, who ended his one-year retirement, caught Dak's second scoring toss. He finished with 3 catches. Randall Cobb was on the receiving end of Dak's final TD toss, and Ezekiel Elliott was somewhat limited after holding out the entirety of training camp, but he reached pay dirt on a 10-yard run to complete the Cowboys' barrage. The Saints open the 2019 season at home this evening against the Texans. Kickoff in the Superdome is set for 6:10 p.m. The Astros completed a 4-game sweep of Seattle with a 21-1 win on Sunday. Garrett Cole became just the second pitcher in big league history with 3 straight games of 14 or more strikeouts after fanning 15 Mariners in an 8-inning outing in which he allowed just 1 hit. The Astros hit a team record 11 doubles, 3 off the bat of rookie Yordan Alvarez. He delivered 6 RBI. Cole, pitching on his 29th birthday, won his 12th straight game. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.107 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin. Headline, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Kiss's End of the Road Tour. Wow. Kiss's End of the Road Tour could gross $200 million.
Wow.
Wow. Wall Street Journal interview, blah, blah, blah. Gene Simmons says Paul Stanley, Kiss co-founder, and I are partners, and everybody else works for the organization. So it's Kiss right now with the 2 guys, the original guys that are still there, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of like Glenn Fry and Don Henley with the Eagles. We get the big cut. You guys, the rest of you, just hired hands.
Yeah.
Only 2 of the original members on stage, right, Ruben? Is that correct? It's just
correct. Yeah.
Okay. And the other 2, it's like Ace Frehley is one, and I guess there's a rift that it would take a miracle to repair. Wall Street Journal partners, Paul Stanley and I are partners. Everybody else works for the organization. Don't get me wrong, he says. Everyone else is paid very well, and I don't want to quote figures. But this will be at least a $200 million gross tour, not counting ancillaries, including licensing, merchandise, and stuff like that. It goes without saying that we also, in our restaurants and other places, hire veterans, give to philanthropy, and other things of that nature. How embarrassing is it before each show if I held up a check and said, look what a nice guy I am? Yeah, I wouldn't do that. $200 million gross for the tour.
Lots of moolah.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Sean Hannity.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute. If you look at the civilian labor force increasing by 571,000 people, that's the third month above the average 425,000 people since Trump has become president. They're coming out of the woodwork and they're getting back to work, and they are because the jobs are there, because we have opportunity available. I mean, for African Americans, this is the lowest rate they've ever had. Hispanic Americans, similarly, a record low. I mean, these numbers are spectacular. 130,000 more new jobs, 500,000 enter the labor market, unemployment at a 50-year low. And if you want to compare it to the Biden-Obama years, Trump has now bested Obama-Biden by 9 million jobs in the first 2.5 years as president.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
I remember smoking was socially acceptable. Everybody pretty much was doing it. People smoked in malls and restaurants, even on airplanes. Now you get a lot of disapproving looks, especially from loved ones. So after many years of me smoking, I finally made the switch to Juul. Now there's no more worrying about the way my clothes smell or worrying about what people are going to say, because with Juul, everything is so much easier. Juul is a vaporizer that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. Now, Juul was designed by smokers for smokers to be an alternative to cigarettes. Juul has no cigarette ash, zero odor, no mess. So if you're one of the 34 million adults in America that smoke, well, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Just go to Juul.com/SwitchAmerica. That's JUUL.com/SwitchAmerica. And warning, this product does contain nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic at the intersection at Line Avenue and East 70th Street. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Was it really 103 yesterday? Was it really? 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Weather Channel forecast. Sunny and hot again today, but 5 degrees. Not cooler, but less hot. High today of 97. Right now, 73.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport. The KEEL Morning Show with Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Breaking news and trending talk on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning, just past 8. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Local news coming up in just moments. Erin got dat, yo.
Talking more about the special election for the bond issue, that's coming up. National Guardsmen from Louisiana headed to Afghanistan, and 800 businesses are dealing in CBD.
Evidently, it's not a 100% done deal, I guess. Through the city council talking about the bond issue, the $186 million thing. We attempted to contact the man who is considered to be the deciding vote. Did he get back to us yet? And is he getting leaned on? Got to talk about LSU football. Erin is virtually giddy. And I said a Shreveport guy. A Houghton guy made himself about like $20 million yesterday. We'll talk about that. A bunch of other stuff, including the KISS concert. I got a little more to tell you. Fletcher and sports and traffic and weather. It's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Big action before the Shreveport City Council this week. They could be ordering and calling a special election to be held in the city in November to authorize the incurring of debt and issuing bonds to the tune of $186 million. This could be a final vote during tomorrow's meeting. More than 50 National Guardsmen from Louisiana will deploy to Afghanistan this week. The soldiers will be away from home for nearly a year. Once overseas, they'll provide air movement support and medical evacuation support to ground forces. We now know more about the tragic fatality involving a train. Reuben Wright with that.
A Bossier City man is identified as the man killed in a train-truck collision on West 70th Street. 36-year-old Bruce Dominic was walking beside a moving train crossing West 70th Street when an 18-wheeler crossed the railroad tracks, causing the truck's trailer to swerve, pinning Dominic against the train. From the news desk of 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Reuben Wright.
Nearly 800 Louisiana businesses have gotten permits to sell CBD products. A spokesman from Alcohol and Tobacco Control says they've gotten more than 1,000 applications. CBD is used in oils and lotions that some believe are beneficial to their health. Investigators believe a child playing with a lighter led to a house fire in Jackson Parish that killed 2 children, a 2-month-old girl and a 3-year-old boy who just celebrated a birthday. State Fire Marshal Butch Browning says there were 5 children in the home when the blaze started.
One of those children actually accidentally set a couch on fire in the living room.
3 children were able to get out unharmed, but Browning says the lone adult at home at the time couldn't get to the 2 kids who died. Big news in the fight against cancer in our state. The National Cancer Institute is providing $13.6 million to combine research efforts in Louisiana. The network merges the community oncology research program run by Ochsner Cancer Center into one involving LSU Health New Orleans and cancer centers in Shreveport and Baton Rouge. Now, it will also include some Mississippi cities. LSU moves up to number 4 from 6 after a convincing win over the Texas Longhorns. The LSU new spread offense is legit. Quarterback Joe Burrow threw for 471 yards, second highest total in school history. Justin Jefferson had 9 catches for 163 yards and 3 TDs.
They've been talking all week, you know, the DBU and all that extra stuff. We didn't worry about all that. We worried about us. And, you know, we told Joe, Coach Brady said that we was going to come out here and we're going to throw the ball. We're going to see what they got to do when we throw the ball. So that's what we had. That's what we did, and we had over 400 yards.
Clemson remains number 1, Alabama 2, Georgia number 3. The online shopping giant Amazon looking to fill more than 30,000 vacant jobs by early next year. They're holding job fairs in 6 U.S. cities next week to find candidates. One of them is being held in Dallas. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Time for traffic. Monday stuff. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market, and we have some heavy backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 our high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin. KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Just sort of before we get into the real business of this segment, you said, Ruben, what's it called? The Whopper, not the Whopper Impossible, the Whopper, the veggie thing. What's it called?
I don't know.
The Impossible Whopper.
The
right?
Impossible Whopper. To dream.
No.
You have not had one.
No.
You kind of went, ooh, you did Lucy face. Why?
No.
You're not
If
interested.
I'm going to eat fast food, I'm going to eat a beef, a hamburger.
Interestingly, a regular Whopper, I thought I read, was like 660 pounds. 660 calories. That the Impossible Whopper
About
or
the
whatever
same.
was about 600. You have not had one, or you have?
No, I've not had one, no.
Ruben's not a vegan guy. He wants meat.
Really?
Yes.
I guess I could back that up, yeah.
All meat, all day.
Was it the Facebook meme I saw? That if being a vegan is so good, why do they always try to make it taste like meat?
True.
Okay, so you attempted to contact Councilman James. What, you contacted him?
I texted him, and maybe I should call him, but I don't know. Some people are not, they don't like texts.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Or may get too many of them.
And I guess it's back on the agenda today for its finalization. Do I understand that correctly? The work session today and a final vote tomorrow.
Resolution on second reading and final passage.
To put the $186 million bond issue on the ballot for the citizens of Shreveport, for the registered voters of Shreveport in November.
Right. And it is, it's calling the election for November 16th. I'm going to post this on the KEEL website. You can get it on the KEEL app, too, because it's got the exact verbiage of what the ballot's going to say.
Now, there's three. It'll be thumb up or thumb down.
On three separate props.
On three separate propositions.
Yep, you've got one that's Prop 1 for water and sewer, $32 million. Prop 2 is for police, fire, and SPAR, $76 million. And then you got Prop 3, which is $77.8 million, and that's for streets and drainage.
Now, you may be asking yourself, having heard the first 30 to 45 seconds of this segment, or at least this conversation, wait a second, you mentioned Councilman James Fleury. Why do you guys want to talk to Mr. Fleury? It is generally, I don't think it's going out on a limb to say he is widely considered to be the deciding vote, the fourth vote. It passed to put it on the ballot earlier, 4-3.
Right.
They'll vote on that again tomorrow to finalize the deal. The pros will be Fleury. Let me see if I can get it all in my head here. Fleury, Green, Bradford, Bowman. The nays will be Fuller, Butcher, and Nicholson.
You know, some of the nays may have changed their tune, too, because they may say, we're going to lose. Let's let the people decide. Let's go ahead and let the people vote on it and see what happens.
Do you think, now that's an interesting
They
point.
might.
Do you think it's more likely that the three nay votes in its earlier incarnation, Fuller, Butcher, Nicholson, do you think it's more likely that one of them goes, like you said, oh, what the hell, I'll just jump on the bandwagon? Or do you think it's more likely behind the scenes they've been working on Mr. Fleury to try to get him to change sides at the last minute?
Mr. Fleury was pretty, I don't know if you watched the last council meeting, he was pretty adamant that he knows a lot of people in his district are against this. He understands, he's gotten the emails and the calls, but he was adamant that he thought, let's at least let the people vote. And that's where he stood. He said, I may not be for these. I may not be, supporting all of them.
Wait. He really said?
Well, I don't want to put words in his mouth. But he said, it's up to the people to decide.
He had made the point with us that he was very principled on this, that he thought the people should make the decision.
And that he shouldn't be the one to keep them from voting on it.
Now, interestingly enough, you put up a poll. Was it last week? Was it the week I was gone?
Last week while Ben was here.
Ben Riggs,
yeah.
Communications manager for the mayor.
Because he answered a lot of the questions I had about the bond issue.
Which brings us to the point. How did you phrase in your online poll, KEELnews.com, the KEEL app, how did you phrase the question? And now that we've got 4 or 5 days in the pocket, so to speak, what are the results?
Do you support the bond propositions? Your choices were yes, no, undecided. I'm kind of shocked by this. 74% say no. 24% say yes. And 2% are undecided. 74%.
Let me ask you something. If it were a Mayor Jim Talaferro or Mayor Leo Savage that were proposing, $186 million bond issue, and they had made from a conservative's point of view, basically the same case. Do you think that would be the same thing? Do you think it's based on party? Do you think let me phrase it to you this way. Your concerns have been the implementation. In other words, if I vote yes for that $186 million, if we're going to sell $186 million in bonds, if we're going out on that financial limb, you, Erin McCarty, have said repeatedly, I want some sort. How great an assurance can you give me, meaning you, Erin McCarty, that the work will be completed, done in a timely manner, that it will be used efficiently?
Somebody will be managing the programs.
And will not be frittered away. Mm-hmm. Do you think that 74% nay vote is basically based on concern for the way the money will be used?
I'm going to be blunt.
That they just don't trust it. By it, I mean the bureaucracy.
I'm going to be blunt with you, and I hate to do this because I really...
Hold your thought. We'll cover it when we come back.
Okay.
Okay? Because I want you to tell me off the air. I may want to try to talk you out of this.
Okay.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Feel like I got a shot there. Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Dealing right now with some heavy backed-up traffic on I-220 in both directions on the Cross Lake Bridge due to a car fire, and we're still looking at some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny, hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 our high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 KEEL and Sports, and Fletcher's here.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes and roasted the New York Giants for 405 yards while posting a perfect quarterback rating in the Cowboys' season-opening 35-17 win at home over their NFC East rival. Prescott connected with 7 different receivers, with Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper each going over the 100-yard mark. Cooper caught one of Dak's scoring tosses just before the half to give the Cowboys a 21-7 lead. Blake Jarwin was wide open for the first score of the game to even things up at 7 apiece. Jason Witten, who ended his one-year retirement, caught Dak's second scoring toss. He finished with 3 catches. Randall Cobb was on the receiving end of Dak's final TD toss, and Ezekiel Elliott was somewhat limited after holding out the entirety of training camp but he reached pay dirt on a 10-yard run to complete the Cowboys' barrage. The Saints open the 2019 season at home this evening against the Texans. Kickoff in the Superdome is set for 6:10 p.m. The Astros completed a 4-game sweep of Seattle with a 21-1 win on Sunday. Garrett Cole became just the second pitcher in big league history with 3 straight games of 14 or more strikeouts after fanning 15 Mariners in an 8-inning outing in which he allowed just 1 hit. The Astros hit a team record 11 doubles, 3 off the bat of rookie Yordan Alvarez. He delivered 6 RBI. Cole, pitching on his 29th birthday, won his 12th straight game. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Hey, Robert and Erin, once again for Papa and Company on East Washington. So I go in there on Friday with my friends Jack and Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And who's in there but you?
Yeah.
With your son and a friend of his.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's run down the menu. What did you get?
I got the half a burger with the sweet potato fries.
Did you eat the whole thing?
Yes, the half a burger.
Okay, what did he get?
He got a whole burger.
He ate the whole thing?
He ate the whole thing.
That was kind of an insulting question. I'm
now,
not
he
surprised.
took the fries home to his pup because he couldn't eat them all. So his pup got some of the, and actually his pup got some of the bacon from my burger because I had the cheddar burger.
Okay, so so I got we had Cajun burgers all around.
Mm-hmm.
I got the half because I'm just not a big boy.
Yeah.
Bill got the whole one. Jack got the whole one with the fries, long gone.
Yeah, they just got. And my plan was half a burger because I wanted the bread pudding. I couldn't do it. I was so full.
Joint was loaded. They were packed.
Oh, it was
too.
slammed. It is one of the
awesome.
hottest joints in town. And try the muffaletta. Go out on a limb. Try the muffaletta. Oh, my God, the bread is so soft.
It's all pretty darn good. Tell them we told you to stop by. Robert and Erin, it's Papa and Company on East Washington. You know where the Montessori school is? It's just catty corner to that, easy to find.
Oh, you bet it is.
FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty City Council meeting today. Well, the work session's today. The meeting is tomorrow.
You make me crazy, Robert.
Tomorrow, the final vote.
When you say on the bond issue, putting it on the ballot, when you say if this was Jim Taliaferro or Leo Savage bond proposal,
do you think it is based?
Would the results of our poll be different? They show 74% don't support it, 24% do.
Right.
My issue is this, that if Jim Taliaferro were our mayor, if Leo Savage were our mayor, and they came out of the gate and stubbed their toe, like this mayor admitted he did, he used the word stubbed his toe, and they had done the same thing, I'd feel the same way. There'd be some mistrust.
So
there'd be some, that insurance deal for me smelled wrong. It still smells wrong. I don't like that was the very first thing you did as new mayor, new to politics.
Would it be unfair?
It left me with a horrible taste in my mouth.
Would it be unfair for me to say that from day one, since the discussion, since the negotiations, for this, well, what was originally $220 million, now is $186 million.
Mm-hmm.
You have had, it has not sat well with, you have to be convinced. It's Erin, Missouri McCarty. You got to show me.
For me, and I hate to say this, and I really am, it hurts my heart to have to say this, but for me, if you break my trust in you, you've got to earn it back. And it takes a lot to do that with somebody. And my trust was broken.
You're
going to have to earn it back. And I'm not even close to it being earned back yet.
Do you think that 74% on our unscientific poll that said if it's on the ballot, we're going to vote against the bond issue?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, A, they've really looked at what it says? Are they aware of the condition? Well, they're obviously aware of the condition of some of the streets. But do you think they're aware of the health risk that is the current police station?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think the people who voted no, do you think they're really aware of that? And to back up that initial question, do you think it's more to do with fallout from the insurance mess that you just alluded to?
And the garbage fee and all that stuff?
Or do you think it has to do with a combination of distrust, a problem with the insurance thing, and just a problem with city government in general that precedes the current mayor?
There would be, you're going to have a group that's going to vote no just because they think government is out to get you anyway. But if I could sneak into the mayor's Oval Office, it's not an Oval Office, I know that. If I could sneak in there the day or two before he took office and tell him, don't do this or do this differently, and he could turn the clock back, and I would know in my heart he would have handled that insurance thing differently. If I could know in my heart that he would have handled it completely differently and gotten all his buddies out of the picture.
In other words, basically, you want him to fall on the sword and say to you,
He kind of did. He kind of did when he said he stubbed his toe. He kind of did. But I still want to make sure that he doesn't have buddies that are going to be in this mix. I mean, we're all hearing about Fairgrounds Field. That wasn't even recommended by the Citizens Advisory Panel. All of a sudden, tearing down Fairgrounds Field is in the bond issue. Is that because the mayor's got some sort of interest in? I don't know.
Wait. Gee, Elliot, maybe you ought to settle down there. I mean, who are you now?
I don't know. I'm just skeptical, and I'm not alone.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, local news just ahead. Traffic time now. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on that heavy backed up traffic on I-220 in both directions on the Cross Lake Bridge due to a car fire, and we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny, hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 our high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
information. KEEL News now.
A memorial service held Sunday in the Bahamas for the victims of Hurricane Dorian. Rain Paulson is a UN official there.
It's encouraging, however, to see the way that some people, residents, are finding quick solutions to respond to the situation themselves, but they need support. There is an urgent need for critical life-saving supplies, food, water, sanitary hygiene packs.
At least 44 confirmed dead in the Bahamas. A Bossier man identified as the man killed in a train truck collision on West 70th. 36-year-old Bruce Dominique was walking beside a moving train crossing West 70th Street when an 18-wheeler crossed the tracks, causing the truck's trailer to swerve, pinning Dominique against the train. A big send-off for some Louisiana soldiers. Reuben Wright with that.
More than 50 guardsmen with the Louisiana National Guard will deploy to Afghanistan this week. The soldiers will be away from home for nearly 1 year. Once overseas, they'll provide air movement support and medical evacuation support to ground forces. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Reuben Wright.
The number of cases of lung disease or other pulmonary issues linked to vaping has ballooned since concerns were made public early last week. LSU Health New Orleans pulmonary expert Dr. Stephen Cantro says 450 cases from 33 states and possibly 4 deaths from pulmonary disease have been reported. So what's happening here?
It looks like about 85% of the time in the cases in the New England Journal, they were using these cannabinoids. They were doing CBD oil or THC oil in vape systems.
Alongside a link to CBD and THC oil use, vitamin E oil is another suspect in the rash of cases. With Congress back in session this week, Democrats are expected to focus heavily on new gun control legislation, but they have to gain common ground from President Trump and the Republican Party, especially on expanding background checks. Missouri Republican Senator Roy Blunt says what he thinks on NBC's Meet the Press about getting a Senate vote on new legislation.
We're not going to vote on bills on the Senate floor that the president's not willing to sign. The president needs to step up here and set some guidelines for what he would do. I'm afraid what's going to happen here is what always happens is we take this silly, if we don't get everything, we won't do anything, and fail to do the things we could do.
House Democrats are hosting a forum on gun violence prevention this week. The Shreveport City Council could take a final vote on putting the bond issue on the ballot in November. The measure is on the agenda for the City Council work session today and for tomorrow's big meeting. The bond package totals $186 million. And the LSU Tigers move up to number 4 in the AP poll. They were 6 last week but had a convincing win over the Texas Longhorns. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. I've been sort of an informal canvassing of the Town Square media staff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of people in this building went to the KISS concert Saturday. And I said, was it loud? And they all winced and said, it was loud. Loudest show I've ever been to.
Yeah.
I think it was the loudest show of all time.
It was really loud.
Was it?
That's what everyone's telling me. All my friends are saying, wow, it's the loudest thing they've ever been to. Loudest thing.
Even stories I've heard from back in the day. You know, my dad used to do security over at Hirsch Coliseum. And, you know, Kiss and Led Zeppelin from back in the day were the two loudest bands on Earth.
Now, that's interesting because, and this is sort of the point I made, and it has to do with first of all, Gene Simmons just turned 70. And Paul Stanley is the only two original members in the band out of four. Gene Simmons is 70 and Paul Stanley is 67.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if you said to, what is it I say all the time? If we showed a 50-year-old picture of yourself to an 18-year-old you, what would that 18-year-old you say? Would you just go, good gosh.
Yeah.
Whatever I did to look like that, I ain't going to do it now. The point I was going to make was that Gene Simmons is 70. Paul Stanley is 67. And they started the show, it was still daylight outside.
Right.
If you had told a 20 or 25 or even 30-year-old Gene Simmons or Paul Stanley, in 40 years you're still going to be touring, but you're going to do the equivalent of a matinee.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? They go, no, man, we rock and rollers. All right, Shreveport, we love you.
Oh, boy.
And if you had said to them, no, dude, the sun's still going to be up. You're starting your nighttime show. What was it that Glenn Fry said on stage at the Eagles show? He said, the reason we take an intermission, remember they took an intermission?
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Fry says, reason we take a break is because we all got to pee. Remember?
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, I do remember
Okay,
that.
Kiss started, and the sun was still up.
Mm-hmm.
But they were still loud, and there was lots of pyro, and there was lots of confetti, and evidently, I guess about 11,500 people or so. That's a lot of people in that building.
That's a lot of people.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Something on TV last night doesn't bother Erin nearly as much as it bothers me, and I'm a little puzzled. I think she's hard-hearted and cold.
Maybe.
We'll discuss that momentarily. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping a close eye on that heavy backed-up traffic on I-220 in both directions on the Cross Lake Bridge due to a car fire, and we have some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, not as hot as the last couple of days, but we're still going to deal with heat index values near 102. Sunshine hot, a slight chance of an afternoon shower or storm today at 98. Partly cloudy tonight, low 74. Sunny hot tomorrow, a high near 96. Wednesday, sunshine, 95 or high. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. It's 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster button. How long have you been on the show now since Matt has departed? God, I made it sound like he was dead. He's dead to me.
Yeah.
This is like your fourth full week or third full week?
This is my third full week.
Third full week.
Okay.
Have you?
Yeah, that sounds
only one pressing of the Jack Spring Electric Shock Buster button, and it turned out to be not the button that you pressed.
Right.
You know,
I could help you. We could experiment again if you want.
we just might want to mark the right one. Put a red X on it. Put a
Literally
JS,
anything.
Jack Spring. This is something that evidently it bothers me a lot more than it bothers you, and I'm intrigued why it doesn't bother you. Given the constant, and I think you'll admit, the constant attack by mainstream media, by leftist media on religion in this country. Look at poor Drew Brees. Take your Bible to school, kids. You're a bigot. You're a hater. You're a horrible human being. You're anti-gay. You just don't want people to have equal rights in this country. Drew Brees was, for about 2 or 3 days, the most vilified man in America.
Mm-hmm.
Because he dared to suggest kids take their Bibles to school. So the point is, I was watching, I saw it was on a couple or 3 times last night on Sunday Night Football. And I had seen it before. It's an Amazon Prime commercial. And it trumpets, I think it trumpets like either 1 or 2 day delivery. And there's a kid who got his hair gel in the mail in 2 days, or 1 day. There's a little girl got a drum set in 2 days. Then the whole tie together is that dad's got noise-canceling headphones. Thank God for Amazon Prime. Well, interesting I said thank God, because the music background playing is the Catholic hymn Franz Schubert, Ave Maria. Ave Maria, gratia plena. Dominus tecum is the whole first 3 lines. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. In the song you hear in the background, when you see the little kid with his hair gel, when you see the little girl with the drums, when you see the dad with the noise-canceling headphones. Hey, everybody, you can get your stuff in 24 to 48 hours. You hear in the background, Hail Mary, full of grace. Happens to be in Latin. Hail Mary, full of grace. And I'm thinking, hold on a second, because you and I talk about this all the time. From the original inception of that idea for that ad, all the way, all the steps. This is big-time marketing. This is big-time media, advertising. These people don't play around. There's 100 or more steps, incarnations, variations that this ad goes through. From the guy at the desk who gets the original idea, or the people sitting around the table who go, ding, 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 brainstorm, all the way to the vice president, the president, whomever, the ad rep for Amazon goes, yeah, we'll go with that.
Good idea.
That nobody raised their hand and said, hold on a second. You're using a prayer to the Blessed Virgin, the mother of Jesus, to sell hair gel, to sell drums, to sell headphones, to sell 24 or 48-hour delivery for Amazon Prime. And that nobody raised their hand and said, hang on a second. Maybe we ought to rethink this. Shouldn't we maybe have a little more respect for people's beliefs, their religion, their church? But they don't. They don't care. Never occurred to anybody along the way, and if it did, it got shot down. What did I say not so long ago? In fact, it was kind of long ago now that I think about it. It was when Jon Stewart was on The Daily Show.
It's been a while.
And I said, one day we were talking about, I don't know who's the most talented guy in TV, and I said, there's no doubt about it. There's no question it's Jon Stewart. On The Daily Show, he's amazing. And I said, the problem with The Daily Show, as amazing as Jon Stewart was on that show, as incredible a performer as he was, nothing was sacred on that show.
That's true.
Absolutely nothing.
Anybody was fair game.
And when nothing, not only everybody, but everything, and when everything is a target, when nothing is sacred, listen to me now, when nothing is sacred anymore, when nothing is sacred to anyone at any time, why are you surprised when nothing's worth fighting for? Why are you surprised when nobody gives a damn about anything? Anything traditional, either religious or patriotic to this country. When you have, if nothing is sacred, if nothing is beyond attack, if anything can be attacked at any time, then what is it about this country or about God or about the beliefs or the traditions of this nation that are worth standing up for? And
well,
according
I just
to
think
these,
play more God music. I'm okay with that.
do you think that their purpose was to expose people to either
their purpose was to have you and me talk about it today.
Their purpose was
That's exactly what they wanted.
At best, that commercial at its worst is out and out sacrilege.
No, you're taking it way too seriously.
At its least,
they wanted publicity and they got what they wanted.
At least, it's grossly disrespectful. And you're making my point when you said they wanted people to talk about it.
I would agree it's disrespectful.
If
they
put
I'm
it
not
on
offended.
there, they put that on that commercial because nobody thought it mattered. Nobody thought it was sacred. Nobody cared if they stepped on the religious beliefs of millions and millions of Americans. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL Weather Channel forecast. Sunny and hot again today, but not 100. Let me say that again. Not 100 high today, 96 or 97. Right now, 75 degrees at KEEL. Here's your money now.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
Last week, the federal government said that black unemployment in the United States reached its lowest point ever, dropping down to just 5.5%.
Mark my words, Donald J. Trump will be the most pro-black president in our lifetime. Look, Democrats have spent decades paying lip service to the black community while doing absolutely nothing to lift them up. It's been all pandering and no progress.
The only question is whether African Americans in the United States will understand how their lives have improved under this president and either vote for him and in their interests or against him and against their interests.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. So Joe Burrow, Heisman candidate. You're not, that's not crazy for you to say.
No, I'm okay with that.
Hold
I
on,
think it's justified.
Let me find.
Without a doubt.
Let me find, because one was ESPN and one was Fox Sports. And let me track those down because I highlighted them both. Excuse me. I highlighted them both to read to you.
Trevor Lawrence is on the list.
Hold on a second.
Tua Tagovailoa is on the list.
With LSU's win, this is ESPN. With LSU's win at Texas, a game in which quarterback Joe Burrow catapulted himself into the Heisman Trophy conversation. You don't think that's an outrageous statement?
No.
You think he's right up there with Tagovailoa, with Jalen Hurts, and whoever else may be in the mix?
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I don't think that's outrageous.
Let me read this to you from Fox Sports. You ready? After the game Saturday night. For now, LSU has offered the first truly seismic shift in college football's playoff picture, blossoming before our eyes into a legitimate national championship contender. You're afraid you're going to care too much, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm looking at the USA Today list, and it's got number 1, it's got Trevor Lawrence. Number 2 is Tua Tagovailoa. Number 3 is Texas quarterback Sam Ehlinger. Now, that was prior to Saturday night. Jake
Go fast,
Fromm.
we got to go. Where's Joe on that list?
Is not on the list. Not yet.
That may need some updating. Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Kim Commando.
In the last presidential election, Twitter bots were easy to spot. Bots are software disguised to mimic an actual person. Now, 3 years later, these bots have become more human-like than ever. Kim Commando with Monday's Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by ExpressVPN, the only VPN I use. Get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. Researchers at the University of Southern California found that tweets from bots in 2016 were rhythmic, mechanical, and very unhuman-like. Most were simply retweeting. But with the next presidential election looming just ahead, these bots have grown more sophisticated. They almost do no retweeting anymore. So how do you spot them? They still can't convincingly reply to tweets you send them because they're not human. So in an attempt to influence the election, bots are doing more polls, asking questions, and gathering data. Look out for them and assume that whoever is behind them is up to no good. I'm America's Digital Pro, Kim Commando. On average, it takes police 45 minutes to respond to a home security alarm. Almost an hour. When a home security system is triggered, a lot of the time police assume it's a false alarm and the call goes to the bottom of the list. That's not the case if you have a Simply Safe home security system. Simply Safe has video verification technology. Here's how it works. Once your alarm is triggered, Simply Safe visually confirms a break-in and provides the police with precise information about where the intruder is located and whether they're armed. This allows the police to get to your home up to 3.5 times faster. And that's just one of the reasons why Simply Safe is my top choice. Simply Safe cares about you, the customer, so they always have fair, honest pricing, no contracts, no hidden fees, and no fine print. Protect your home today, and if you live alone, you don't need to live in fear. Get free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. SimplySafeKim.com. That's SimplySafeKim.com.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel Weather Channel forecast. Sunny, hot today, but not into triple digits, upper 90s. Right now, 75 degrees at Keel.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 101.7 FM, Shreveport.